welcome to A Stab in the Dark. We are reviewing the first season of You from 2018, back in the day. Long time ago.
Keeping it current.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, and the reason is these two, crazily, they've never seen it. Lunatics! So we're catching them up very slowly. And we're reviewing each episode of the first series like it basically is new and fresh for them. So it's quite fun to hear their predictions. If I remember from our last recording, Dave, we will never see Dr. Nikki again.
Also, Candice is coming in the next episode.
Yeah.
Wait, did she appear in this one as a
Very
figment?
briefly. But you said the figment didn't count. It's not-
Yeah, you-
Candice, was she or was she not in it?
Candice! So, this episode is called You Got Me, Babe.
Yes.
And there was another bad take by Dave
What?
saying this one would be about Sonny and Cher, and so it is not. But
What a surprise.
we're skipping a lot of time in You at the moment because we've got 3 months after his and Beck's breakup, so a lot of time has passed. Beck is having some minor success writing and doing a few bits here and there. And Joe, well, he is now dating a character we didn't really mention.
Oh yeah, we
last
didn't talk about her
episode.
last time because
She's not really
Yeah,
much
it's
other
kind
than
of
a little
slipped
fling.
in at the end, isn't it?
in that very because
I was kind of confused
thought
who she
wasn't-
was. Yeah.
I
when
thought
she was
that like
first.
that in that last bit she wasn't real. What?
So you just get. He's like, I'm kind of confused.
I didn't say it like that. I was confused who she was.
Dude, like, whoa. I'm confused. Who she was? little old Mike.
No, Mike was confused who she was. I thought.
You don't know all about Karen.
Well,
mate.
no, I thought like. Have they changed the actress for the Paco's mom? Like,
Yeah.
because she was just going
Yeah.
into the house and it didn't say who she was.
It's like what's her face in Fresh Prince. It's all of a sudden.
Yeah.
like,
That's not-
And Viv.
That's not Carlton's mom.
Yeah, but she is in the like final scene. I didn't really find it necessary to talk about her in the last one because
No.
she's just a fling at the end for Joe.
That's what it makes it seem to be.
I thought because she was. I think she was in that previous episode twice. So she was there, and there was another character in the room.
with
So
the
she was.
everything chip cake.
Yeah, yes, yeah. Wait, was there another character in that? Because in her last appearance, when she like kisses Joe, I thought she
Yeah.
wasn't real. Genuinely.
Well, like Joker.
Yeah.
But you thought he just completely descended into madness.
Yeah, I mean, he's like hallucinating Candice and stuff all over the damn place. So,
Rock and roll. Hey.
and so I was really surprised that she was A, back and B, real.
Yeah.
And C. What do you want to say?
And C, not
fill in the blank.
Paco's mom.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't notice until probably halfway through this that, like, who this person is. Like, what's going on here?
Just got like,
It's
Are Paco and the mom gone? Has this person just moved in and we just dealing with that now? Like, yeah.
it's her co-worker, right? Like they're co-workers. Her and
I
Paco.
still wasn't really sure
Her
about
and
that.
Paco's mom. They're both nurses, I think.
Yeah.
oh, is she not a sister?
I thought they were related.
I think they're different races. So.
and that can't possibly...
No, I think.
Wow. Wow, we all know what Dave's option
Well-
C was. Jesus.
I said my option C. No, I thought they were co-workers because she was like talking about her losing a job and stuff.
Okay.
I didn't fact check. I didn't fact
Wouldn't the
check it.
sister
Let's-
be concerned about her
Joe,
losing a
Joe,
job?
can you fact check it so we don't spoil anything?
Hold on. Yeah.
Yeah, because like she's given medicine. She's like detoxing Claudia in this episode.
Yeah, correct.
I mean, I guess her sister could also be in the same profession, but I just,
Yeah, and if she's been with her sister for like years and years,
yeah, sorry,
who
a
is
friend-
a drug addict.
Friend of Joe's neighbour Claudia in
they're
New
just
York.
friends.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. Apologies, peeps.
So she is a nurse?
I don't know about that.
Just a friend.
Yeah.
I just assume they're co-workers and friends, like friendly co-workers.
I read that episode wrong and I've seen it twice.
Well, it doesn't really matter, does it?
No.
It doesn't really matter. Like, yeah. Basically, like an anti to Paco, even if they're not actually blood related, because clearly
Yeah.
Paco is pretty comfortable around it, right?
Yeah.
What do you think of the episode, though, Mike?
It was a little bit there was a bit more going on in this episode than the last episode, but it was another fluffy filler boy.
Bit like put right in the sandwich a bit of your sandwich for a bit of chicken tikka on your sandwich. You know, your filler.
Don't you mean like sandwich, like you said last time?
You know, the sandwich filler.
The sandwich filler.
Like potato filler. Yeah, it's
yeah,
like that,
I guess so.
Bit
Chicken
stodgy.
tikka wouldn't have been right what I went to,
Okay.
but yeah.
You know, some people are wrong.
Too wet for a sandwich, man.
In this,
But,
in this episode, I really...
Bit like how Beck is for Joe in this way.
Too wet for a sandwich. That's not a nice
No,
thing.
get rid of the
That's
sandwich.
horrible.
She's wet for him.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you.
No, I prefer that's too basic now. I prefer it was too wet for a sandwich.
I kind of like it too.
Yeah, but
Use that one on
A
your
sandwich
that'll work.
with Peaches and that guy from the drug guy.
Yeah.
a Benji and Peaches sandwich.
Oh well, Benji, yeah, get him in as well.
Oh yeah, Benji.
Benji sandwich.
I thought that's what you meant with
No,
the
I was
drug
talking
guy.
about
the guy who she like
what? Just what?
Peaches shoves it up his arse.
Oh yeah.
I'm
is that
calling,
the guy
I'm
you were
calling
on
her
about?
Peaches as well.
Oh,
Her name
yeah.
is Peach.
Yeah.
So-
Peaches.
yeah.
That's our podcast name.
See, the issue is I think the issue with this episode is that we're still talking about Peach.
That is true. Yeah.
Still on the peach hype.
And that is kind of the same with the last
She's
episode as well.
iconic, yeah.
She's left a bit of a tough hole to fill, and they tried to fill her with
peach-sized hole.
they tried to fill her with the therapist who
Yes.
apparently comes back, but the therapist is no Peaches.
No.
Yeah.
No, he does not fill my life with cream.
Well, okay.
That doesn't go in sandwiches, definitely.
well, peaches and cream.
And well, still doesn't go in a sandwich.
Yeah,
I'm hung
no.
up on the sandwich thing, so yeah.
The only food in your life. And
Yeah.
we're getting a bit sidetracked here, but
This is the sandwich podcast.
yeah.
Just relate anything we're watching to sandwiches.
Yeah.
What sandwich is this as an episode?
yeah.
Yeah, this is more of a salmon.
So this episode made me really not like Beck at all. I was just like, I was kind of on the fence about her. Like,
Well, last episode I was going off for a bit, and this one hasn't helped either.
like she's
Well, she was being badly communicative to Joe in the previous episode. Joe was kind of an asshole as well, but if we're just talking particularly about Beck, she wasn't particularly a good relationship partner either.
I mean,
But
you've
in
had
this
it in for Beck
episode-
since about episode 5.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, they're both they're both terrible, man. They're both terrible. But
you want Joe to be done with her already.
I want both of these people to be done with life, perhaps. But yeah. But in this episode, yeah, she's even more of a kind of. She's more Joey in this episode than any of the
Yeah, I
previous
know.
ones.
Like when
Yeah.
they were,
Joey?
yeah,
Joe-esque.
Joe-esque.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like the character. I
Not-
thought you meant
not-
like
yeah.
Joey from Friends. Like,
No.
is she dumb?
Not,
Like, what's
not like Joe from Friends or a kangaroo. Yeah.
yeah.
I noticed. I think it's when they're sat next to each other. I think when they're sat on the boat. I'm not
Yeah.
sure, but she's man spreading to like get her leg to touch Joe's. I was like, it just made me laugh that she was doing that. Like someone sort of like her legs are like this.
Yeah,
They're so
yeah.
wide. Like touch me.
I do like the depiction of Joe in this one where he's sort of.
He's trying to get healthy. Like he
Is
right?
he? No, like I think he can't get over it. He's just trying to. No, it's another way of him just sort of going, "What I'm doing is right. How can I like this? I like the line. How can I get over you if you're really gone from you know?
Yeah.
Like, that's great.
So you think like the thing with Karen and all the because he still sees the therapist is the thing.
Yeah.
think-
Exactly.
You think all of that is still just a game with Beck?
Well, he's kind of deluding himself into being happy,
It's his coping
which I don't
mechanism
think that he
for not
is.
being able to have
Even
that.
though it seems like Karen is really nice and probably is better for him than Beck.
Well, definitely,
but,
I feel like, yeah.
But he's completely hung up on Beck and he's completely uninterested in the Karen thing and just lying to himself about being interested.
What do you think that like then? Like the relationship with Karen is basically just like part of this narrative he's trying to construct.
It's all for Beck, right? When he
Yeah.
walks away from Beck when they see her on the street and he's like, yeah, fuck you, Beck. I've moved on. I've got a
Yeah,
girlfriend,
yeah.
etc. It's all for that.
Yeah. But it's firstly like Karen doesn't seem like someone that would go along for that though. Like if it was really completely performative, then it wouldn't work behind closed doors, right?
Mm.
But she doesn't seem like a woman that takes shit. And in the end, when Joe dumps her, she demonstrates that she's quite perceptive,
Yeah.
right?
She does, but she also interestingly says to Beck in the very final scene that she's dodged a bullet.
Yeah.
So it's almost as if she wasn't in the position she is now, she almost feels dominated by Joe still. There's almost this sort of interesting... Because she's a strong woman doesn't mean that she isn't somewhat dominated by the affection of Joe and being able to get out and dodge a bullet in some way. Like,
Well,
if she feels like that...
I thought that she was like referring to the fact that like Joe lied to her habitually and cheated on her with Beck.
Yeah, but that's she said her get out of jail free card. And also in that last scene, she says, why don't I like Joe? It said, well, you mean apart from the adultery and apart from the cheating and all of this, and I feel like I've dodged a bullet, and they talk about Candace.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and that's what they leave it on. So it's like there's something more. She's noticed something that perhaps Beck hasn't, and she's more perceptive, but she also interestingly feels stuck, like there's nothing she could actually do. That's how I took it.
Well, I presume she was just going through it with suspicions, I imagine. And perhaps even with those suspicions kind of acting as if there is no future in the relationship, but Joe was fine and she got along with him and he got along with Paco and he was helping her with the friend, Paco's mom, and so on. So it's convenient as well. And he's right next door to him as well, so... You think
that she's... I mean, we don't know that much about her, but she just didn't seem like a woman that would like just go along with a relationship. And I guess she like didn't seem too bothered when he dumped her.
Yeah.
But
I'm
like,
not sure that she was super emotionally invested, I guess.
Maybe. Yeah. I mean, I guess
I
guess she did like initiate it pretty frivolously in the previous one. Right? It was just like
the only
physical
evidence
thing.
we could possibly use to say that she was emotionally invested in it is what she said to Beck about him being such a great guy. But even then, that could have been, there on purpose to see what Beck would do or say.
Yeah, maybe.
With that information. So,
yeah, and then, were they already cheating at that point? Because it might have been like a guilt thing as well. Like,
not yet. That's what basically spurred it, isn't it? I think because then.
Oh, it made Beck realise that Joe was really good for her.
Yeah. So they'll have distance, and then the distance immediately didn't happen. Yeah.
I mean, another character who's in this a bit more now in this episode is Paco for the first time.
And he actually, and he has some beef with Joe.
Yeah.
After blowing up the relationship with Karen.
Yeah, and I'm wondering if, because we've wondered before about what Paco's actual role in the story is or why he's there.
Yeah.
And I think actually, perhaps, maybe this isn't the final be-all and end-all of that thematic point, but Paco is there as kind of innocence, right? And the more he strains the relationship with Paco, the more he's
going down a path.
Right?
Going down a path.
He's getting more and more distant from innocence
that he cannot follow.
Yeah. I've been watching Star Wars recently. I wonder. I like long term. I wonder the role of Paco as well, if indeed he is in it after this season.
Yeah,
whether he'll ultimately, because as far as I understand, the upcoming season 5 is going to be the definite final last season, which like implies a definite final ending and maybe a death, like maybe Joe dies, or is put in prison or something. And I wonder if Paco is still in it, if Paco will be the one to do it.
He's some kind of, well, you think he's an antagonist rather than a protege prospect?
Yeah, maybe. But I'm really mostly just curious, like if he's going to be in it long term and what his role will be now that there's real friction between them, like, because I think that relationship is very damaged for Paco now. But we'll see. He's just a kid, kids forgive.
Yeah,
so.
And it depends if Joe has to move house for whatever reason.
Well, exactly.
Well.
Like really, like
as soon as he moves
we don't
house,
know
the connection to
exactly. They could
severed.
they could change the city. They could change the setting. They could do anything, right? And they could just redo the entire cast if that happens. So I really don't know.
I'm interested to see now because you mentioned that Dr. Nicky was never going to be in it again.
Yeah, I was really surprised to see him again.
So now he's in it. How do you think he factors? Do you think he factors at all, or is it just that they've sort of egged him on a little bit longer or brought him in for another episode?
Presumably, now that Beck and Joe are back together, he's going to start trying to use the therapist again to get to Beck.
Yeah. Or just keep it going as a pretense to have access to that laptop to be able to see what she's saying in the therapist sessions.
Exactly. Yeah. Other than that, I don't really know.
It's also a way for them to minimize to a certain extent internal monologues for the story structure, right? When they're actually unloading their feelings to this therapist, so they can include a therapist scene so that it's not all internal monologues for like 10 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, it's an elegant way, especially for Beck, if we're witness to her therapy sessions, to kind of find out what's going on inside her head.
Yeah, because we get the few and far between of actual monologues for her, right?
In fact, we had just that one episode, I think. I might have introduced him sooner for that reason, for her. Or kept a monologue going, I'm not sure.
I would have quite liked the monologue to keep going, but...
I really liked that about that Captain
there,
episode.
but...
That's why the Captain episode is so memorable to me for that breaking of the format.
Yeah,
and I was really excited about the prospect of it carrying on.
In fact, that would be quite interesting if each season is, or at least the second season is from her point of view, internal monologue, and Joe's kind of the antagonist.
Imagine if it turns out that she's like as evil as him, or like worse, and she kills him. Even though that makes no sense because he's in all the marketing for the other seasons. But...
Yeah, she dates bad guys like Benji because she's planning on killing him.
Yeah,
and now she's dating Joe because she thinks he killed Benji or something.
She knows Candace. It's revenge.
Yeah, perhaps.
I'm throwing that as a prediction.
Or we're going wild, and she is Candace with a
yes,
a
I
face
love it.
transplant.
Yeah,
it's like Days of Our Lives.
Oh, God.
It's like a real soap opera now.
Yeah.
We also have the whole thing with Blythe going on.
Yeah, Mike was right about that. Yeah,
Ethan.
The weird move-in party shenanigans and so on. I mean, yeah, they seem to say, oh, they're so cute and so on, but we don't really get a huge amount of them together.
It's a bit of a comedic side plot, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just
perhaps.
And a device to get Joe and Beck in the same room.
Yeah,
that's
right.
Setting.
Especially in this episode, it's like they set it up last episode, so they have a reason to be in each other's circle in this episode, right?
Yeah, correct.
Although they had no problem.
Stop it from being a clean break, even though Beck was just going to go wandering.
Yeah, I was going to say, they had no problem with her just walking around his apartment, basically, anyway.
Yeah.
So. Predictions for the next episode. Do you know what this next one is actually called?
No, I don't. One more thing I want to say before we do predictions. Two more things. Three more things.
Yeah.
10 more things.
Do you want a monologue?
So, firstly, I liked the parallel with Claudia's addiction, Paco's mom, and Joe's addiction to Beck.
Yep.
It was pretty on the nose, but I liked it. Joe is so cringe. When he's like running he breaks up with Karen.
You love him running, man.
Yeah,
Every time he runs, that's a highlight for you.
Every single time there's running, I write.
It's that book thing, isn't it? When he throws the stone.
Yeah,
he goes straight through.
And he's like, "You got me, babe."
Yeah.
I expected like another man to step out.
I expected. I was thinking Dr. Nicky in that. I was actually thinking.
That went so good.
I haven't seen it in so long. I was expecting.
I think that was so obviously telegraphed that was on purpose, that we were thinking
maybe
like,
again
be
just
another obstacle,
subvert what we were expecting. Because literally the last thing you expect in that scene is that there is no one else and that she says yes to him.
Yeah. Correct.
And the final thing was just a question like, what does Karen know about Candace? You mentioned it before. I was like, how the fuck did she find out about Candace so quick?
Yeah.
So my prediction anyway is that like what Karen said at the end is going to be like the little nugget that breaks them apart, and this time for real. We got 2 episodes left.
Or maybe Beck's gonna get like her peach on and start doing some snooping and so on. Yeah.
And what other plot threads we got left? We got Ron. Is that done now? Like, because Ron's just like moved in, or that maybe Paco is gonna kill Ron. Or
outright murder.
Yeah, fuck it. I don't know.
Well, he did overdose him, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
So that could nearly kill him.
Very suspicious to do it again, though, I feel like. But yeah, there's got to be more to that. I don't know whether it'll be this season or
it's
whether
true.
he's the next antagonist. We haven't really got another antagonist.
It depends like how much of a clean break the separation between season 1 and season 2 is.
Yeah.
Like how much of the cast is coming back, how many is going to be left alive, I don't know. And the cop wasn't in this episode at all, and he's still got to come back, right? Surely.
Yeah, presumably. And all these pieces of evidence that it's left as cliffhangers, and we've heard nothing about. Surely there's got to be something.
Yeah,
that can't be season 4. Remember the piss jar in season 1? No,
The,
it's got to come
so
soon.
so I got 2 more predictions, and I said it in the last episode. I said both of them in the last episode.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
With
say them again.
Candace coming back.
So end of episode 9, we're gonna have that Saw style montage when Beck finally realizes everything, dun, 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 and then the final episode 10 is gonna be.
But what's going to instigate that, though?
I don't know. There's gonna be because I think she's already gonna be suspicious now, and the episode
You
is
think
gonna
she'll
be.
find his like shelf of sneaky items in his
Yeah,
house or
I think
something?
so. Like I think he'll go back to like normal, but she'll see everything that he's doing differently, and it will build, and then eventually something will happen, and maybe she'll find the phone or something. Or oh no, he smashed the phone, but he'll find something, and then it will be like the montage of all the red flags,
Yeah.
and then to go
Maybe
into
the
the fun.
Benji watch is going to give him away again or something like that.
And final prediction, as always, Candace coming back in the flesh, the
Wow.
flesh.
Yeah. As always, the dad's coming back.
It's never happened.
And then
Candace is coming before the dad.
I'd bet you like 20 quid that the dad comes back before Candace comes back alive, which I don't think ever is going to happen. So,
How much?
well, I just said 20 quid.
20 quid? Oh, sorry, I missed
Want
that.
to juice
Yeah,
this
yeah.
baby?
No, £20. Go for it. I want to see this.
Yeah. Well, do you know the
The
answer?
fucking dad comes back.
I have my suspicions. One of you is correct.
Nice, nothing answer there. Nice.
Well, I'm not going to give it away, am I? What do you want me to say?
Yeah. Well, as for what I think's going to be next, it's another one with not a huge amount of developments, but I think the happy families with Beck isn't going to last like 10 minutes in the next episode.
Yeah, yeah.
There's going to be some kind of issue or something. There's got to be more to the therapist, I feel like, or I don't think they're going to.
Maybe he's
they had it for
Candace.
two episodes. Yeah, maybe Candace's long lost brother, twin.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe he'll have a part to play in this. Maybe he'll have to dispatch him because he finds out he's been robbing his tapes or something. I don't know. And then Joe's going to have to do something. He's probably going to feel compelled to do something about Paco being upset, and that might get into trouble with Ron, I think.
Okay.
That's my suspicion.
All right. Interesting. Do you want to know? Like, I know we always make a joke out of this. The actual episode name, the next one, because this is going to really intrigue you both. I think
Go on.
Right.
the episode is called Candace.
Oh yes. Oh, this is happening.
Flashback episode.
Get your £20 ready.
It's going to be a flashback, or maybe Beck just asks him about Candace, and there's
Well, she's alive. She's alive. I'm saying it.
in Paris, like they claim,
Yeah.
not talking to anybody that used to be a friend.
Yes.
And we are nearing the end of the series, so I'm very interesting theories from you both.
Yeah, I'm really excited.
Very
I'm really
interesting
excited now
thing.
for.
Well, is somebody
yeah.
right? Is that why you're wink, nodding at the?
Potentially,
The
I
audience.
think one of you has hit some sort of nail.
Ooh.
There's some
It's
interesting.
got to be me. This guy.
It's like, can't it be me?
Is it gonna be me?
Foreshadowing
Is it gonna
over
be
there.
me?
Yeah.
And if you
I
have
hope
seen
it's not
it,
the Candace thing after all that.
you will know exactly. They hit a pretty solid beat.
Oh,
So-
one more prediction. Sorry, one more prediction.
Oh, now he.
He's got confidence now.
Yeah.
Now that he thinks he's won something.
So my prediction is a crossover with Breaking Bad. No, the gun, Chekhov's gun, right? The gun under the counter.
Yeah.
It's going to be used. It's going to go.
That
off.
was so briefly shown, though.
Exactly. It's Chekhov's gun. Exactly. Yeah.
I don't know the strictest definition of Chekhov's gun, but we saw the piss and we saw the rock and all these kind of things. Like,
had
are they
a
not
fight.
going to be used?
The Chekhov's piss is coming back.
Yeah.
All right then. So look forward to episode 9 coming out next week, where some of these answers will absolutely have been.
Am I going to win 20
sorted.
quid? Yeah.
No.
Find out, won't we?
When
Or
she
maybe we
walks
won't,
in.
because maybe that's not the prediction. Maybe it is.
Yeah. It's a trick title. It's
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
about the dad. Yeah.
And see you soon. Like, share, subscribe. Leave a comment. Let us know what you think of their predictions. Who's right? Who's wrong? Take the piss.